Update. Am I the a-hole for saying that if my parents have another baby, I want nothing to do with it? Original post. I know the title sounds bad, but hear me out. I, 17 female, have had a rocky relationship with my parents since my siblings, 10 male, 7 male, 3 female, 9 months male, were born. I was an accident baby when my parents were teenagers, and they have told me in arguments that I ruined their lives. However, this is not what the post is about. My parents are notorious workaholics and constantly accuse one another of cheating. It's stressful for everyone in the house, young ones included. All of my siblings have had paternity tests. Because they work so often though, it means I'm often left, for sometimes 48 hours, to care for my siblings alone. This has gotten so bad that the 9-month-old and 3-year-old sometimes cries for me instead of our actual mother. I cook for them, make sure they get to school on time and do their homework. I clean and play with them. The 10-year-old invites me to his football games, and I don't get time to do anything for myself. Well, last week me and my parents were arguing again. They want another baby to bring them closer together. I was furious and straight up told them that they didn't look after the kids they already had, and I just end up having to look after another one. I told them that if they have another baby, I want nothing to do with it, and they will be all on their own. They called me an a-hole and said I was trying to ruin their marriage and their careers. I spoke to Grandma about it, and while she sympathizes with my situation, she says I should be supportive of my parents trying to fix their marriage. She told me it was my duty as the oldest sibling to care for my younger ones, and I was being kind of an a-hole and should apologize to my parents, but I still don't think I am. So, here I ask Reddit, am I the a-hole? Edit. We do have a nanny come in 9 to 4 for the 9-month-old while I'm in college, but that'll probably stop when he starts school. Now for the top advice before reading the update. They should not be having children if they aren't ready to take on a parenting role. Parenting isn't just conceiving, carrying, and birthing. It's actually raising the child. Whatever state their marriage is in is not going to be fixed with a baby. They clearly have deep trust issues that need to be addressed if all of their kids have had paternity tests. Babies don't fix any marriage. They stress healthy ones. Good marriages survive babies until they grow past the point of constant sleep deprivation. I wonder if the myth of a baby fixing a fragile marriage comes from the idea a baby gives the couple something to focus on, to put differences aside for. But no one should bring a baby into the world on that gamble, because if the gamble is a loss, there's still a young kid who needs to be raised. Relationships need to be fixed by addressing the issues causing the problems to begin with. Here it's trust, and it's obvious children are not the solution when they've tried multiple times. Not stay home. This is a form of mistreatment. Also, having another kid isn't going to fix their marriage, especially if they blame you for their marriage problems. Move out of there as soon as you can. I want to, but I'm worried about my siblings if I do. I genuinely don't think I could leave them on their own. And I don't want to force the responsibility I currently have onto my younger brother. It's just an awful situation, to be honest. Your brother is too young to take care of them by himself. If you move out, and they try to put it on him, someone can alert authorities to ultimately force them to actually once be parents. I hope you can escape soon. What your grandma said is BS. It is not your responsibility. Not stay home. Not stay home. They have had 3 babies to fix their relationship, and it is still awful. They don't need another one. You are not supposed to be the parent of your younger siblings. Update. After all your comments, I have spoken to my aunt in detail about the whole situation, and she is horrified. She's my dad's older sister, and has unfortunately never been able to have kids. She's the closest thing I've ever had to an actual parent though. She told me that I need to talk to my parents about this and she'll stay with me while I'll do it. I messaged them that we need to have this talk tomorrow and it's non-negotiable. If they didn't turn up, I'm calling CPS next time they leave me alone with my siblings. Simple as that. They're annoyed but have agreed to come. I'll keep everyone updated. Update 2. So, we have spoken. My aunt was with me the entire time and I couldn't be more grateful for her support. I told my parents that they need to grow up, basically. I told them pretty much what you had all been saying, and said they had until I was 18 to build a proper relationship with my younger siblings, a good 10 months, and find a more suitable situation for while they're at work. Otherwise, I'm calling CPS. My aunt even offered to have them live with her. She's a saint. I told them that I no longer wanted a relationship with them, however, and that I would be moving in with my aunt within the next month, but I will be coming over all the time. And my younger brother, 10-year-old, will receive my old phone to keep in contact with me while I'm not there. My aunt only lives a 45-minute walk away, so it won't be too bad, and she will drive me there in a rush if needed. My parents were furious with me, said I was ungrateful and that I don't love my siblings. I told them that I was doing this because I love my siblings. I don't want them to be better parents for them, and I had to leave for that to happen. I've also spoken to my siblings who are also upset with me, but a 10-year-old understand, and the younger ones know they'll see me pretty much every day. My parents have threatened to have my aunt arrested as I'd be moving in with her underage, and without their consent. But I told them I'd show the police every single piece of evidence I've collected over the years, and then they'd lose all their kids. Overall, it didn't end well, but it needed to happen. Maybe I'll update again in a month or so, but for now, this is goodbye. Thank you everyone for all the responses and advice. I appreciate every single one of you. Now for the third update 2 months later. So, since my first post, things have been chaotic. I moved in with my aunt and have had the opportunity to be an actual teenager for once in my life. She's been letting me go out with friends, cooks the majority of the home meals, is my shoulder to cry on. But unfortunately, things haven't been all good. About 2 weeks or so after I moved in with my aunt, my mom showed up at the door with all 4 siblings in tow. She looked a mess. If I'm going to be honest, and my mother has always been a very put-together woman, so I was kind of worried. She said she'd tried, but she couldn't do it, that she wasn't cut out to be a mother, and she begged for me to come back. The kids also looked miserable. The 7 male and 3 female were clinging to me. The baby was crying, and 10 male was just silent. He's usually a huge chatterbox. I told her I was not coming back, but my aunt repeated her offer to take in all of us on the condition that they had no more children. My aunt is a well-paid woman who's always wanted children, but wasn't able to have them biologically and felt like we were close enough to hers anyways. She has a fairly large house already, but has said she'd move if need be. My mom just broke down. She said she didn't want to give any of us up, but she just couldn't be who we need her to be. She admitted that her and my dad were considering a divorce, and I encouraged her to seek some professional help. In the meantime, my siblings are staying with us. We collected a majority of their belongings, and my aunt has hired a nanny to be with us when she can't be. My father has gone no contact, and the last we heard, my mom was seeking therapy and having supervised visits with my younger siblings. Despite her trying now, I just cannot forget all those years I lost because she wasn't cut out to be a mom. I can't get over how many times I broke down over how stressed I was. I still love her, but I cannot let her be my mom now when she wasn't when I needed her most. So, not all sunshine and rainbows, but some progress was made. Thank you everyone for all the advice and support. I'm also in therapy thanks to my aunt and beginning my own healing process. I hope you all had a great Christmas and a wonderful New Year's. Wait, so your mom just dumped all the kids on you and your aunt? Is that what happened? Yes, pretty much. After I left, she tried to stay home with them for a while and balance a home/work life, but she couldn't do it. She showed up on the doorstep with them all and said she wasn't cut out to be a mom. Granted, she's now getting help, but I can't see her ever taking my siblings back full-time. She's in therapy. Her and my dad are getting a divorce, and she's having supervised visits with my siblings. It's a mess, to be honest. I'm glad she did this, however, rather than trying to dump them on my younger brother. It sounds like over a couple of weeks your mom was able to get a small glimpse of what you've been doing for years. I don't have any advice, but I am proud of you for standing up for yourself and getting out of that situation, even though I can't imagine the emotional difficulty. I'm glad you have your aunt on your side. I hope you all can heal. If possible, it would probably be beneficial to get some family therapy for yourself and your younger siblings, at least a 10-year-old. You've had to grow up way too fast. Be well. We're looking into family therapy, but I'm reluctant. My aunt thinks it would be beneficial to get some closure from my mom, but I feel I have all the answers I need. I would rather my mom and siblings just go. As stated, I'm not interested in a relationship with my mom currently. Thank you so much for the kind comment. Reddit has a very poor grasp on what therapy actually is and what it can and can't do. Yet it waves it about as a magic wand for anything and everything. Also, it tends to ignore that it is very expensive and that you as a minor aren't going to have actual access to it. I'm not saying you're strictly wrong, but it kind of sounds like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Okay, so takeaway therapy. Okay, now what? What is your wisdom? Because while the usefulness of therapy is incredibly finite, it's still an immensely valuable tool, and something society should be frankly aspiring to make much more accessible than it already is. It's a bit like lawyers. Yes, they're expensive, but if you're being taken to court, you should still talk to one and get your options. Because while they can't solve all your problems, they can certainly greatly improve your situation. You did a brave thing, and I love your aunt. Good luck with your life, and you should be proud of what you did for your siblings. My aunt is a saint, and I can't thank her enough for all she's done for my siblings and I. She's my role model. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for wanting to tell my stepdaughter's dad about the cameras my wife planted in his house while he was away? I, male 34, got married to my wife Claire 2 years ago. She has a 6-year-old daughter, my stepdaughter, that she shares custody of with her ex-husband Adam. So Adam has not dated anyone ever since he and Claire got separated. Claire always talked about how this was a good thing, because she believes that my stepdaughter is better off without a witch stepmom to boss her around and mistreat her. Then Adam started seeing his now girlfriend about 8 months ago. Claire wasn't happy about it. In fact, she was livid that Adam introduced my stepdaughter to his girlfriend so soon. Claire demanded meetings with Adam's girlfriend to test and see what kind of stepmom she will be for my stepdaughter. I didn't give it much attention because of the drama and always having mother-in-law involved as well. However, I very recently found out that Claire installed several cameras in Adam's house while he and his girlfriend were away on a trip. Claire had a key to Adam's house because most of my stepdaughter's stuff is there. Keep in mind that I found out by looking at the chat Claire had with mother-in-law, so she was in on it too. It irked me because that is a total breach of privacy. But when I confronted Claire, she said she did this because Adam's girlfriend was going to move in soon, and she wanted to see how she treats my stepdaughter. I told her this was wrong, but she said it was all temporary till Adam's girlfriend isn't clear. I still wasn't convinced and suggested she remove the cameras because of the huge legal troubles once Adam finds out. But she lost her temper on me, saying I should stay out of it, because I clearly don't care about my stepdaughter's well-being and happiness. But then she had no evidence or even reason to believe Adam's girlfriend might mistreat my stepdaughter. Claire said she just wants to double-check and Adam does not need to know. But I disagreed and said that I will tell him if she won't remove the cameras, which made her lose it on me and get mother-in-law to shut me down and get me to stay in my lane. But I couldn't. Claire said if I tell Adam, then we're gonna have a problem, and urged me to mind my own business because Adam isn't more important than my relationship with her. So I shouldn't even entertain the idea of telling him and upsetting Claire, who is just trying to make sure her daughter's future stepmom isn't some witch stepmom in the making. I still want to tell him, but given Claire's reaction, I'm going to get hell for this, and it may not be worth it, since me and Adam aren't on good terms. Now for the top comments before reading the little update. Not today, home. You need to tell him. This is illegal, and you could get in trouble now if you knew and took no action. It is illegal from where I'm from, and that's why I told her repeatedly to remove them immediately. But she kept rationalizing and defending her actions by making illogical arguments, like how it's her daughter's house and how she has a key by consent, and so on. But I couldn't help freak out because this is not okay in any shape or form, then add illegal troubles as well. Please tell him to protect yourself and your wife from legal and criminal problems. Edit to add from your other comments, if you think your wife will blame you, she will, and she will drag you into whatever legal and criminal consequences arise. You also need to handle this to protect your stepdaughter emotionally. Is she supposed to feel safe with people her own mother doesn't trust? The cameras are also a great way for your wife to lose custody of her daughter, so think of that too. Edited to add, I had limited my comment to OP's specific question, but I definitely agree that the mother is acting crazy, and OP should protect himself at this point. The cameras are also a great way for your wife to lose custody of her daughter, so think of that too. Yep, came here to say this. Installing surveillance devices without the proper credentials/license could lead to actual jail time. and depending on where you live, could also be considered a felony. This gives Adam ample evidence to fight for full custody, considering the court doesn't remove her from your home immediately. Her behavior is major red flags. Not stay home. Tell Adam. This is a total breach of privacy. Depending on the law in the country you are from, you could have serious legal issues if Adam finds out. I'd reconsider staying married to this woman if this is what she's willing to do. The goal doesn't justify the means. I told her about the legal consequences, but she kept saying since her daughter lives there, then it shouldn't be a big deal if Adam found out. Ask her if she's fine with him planting cameras in your house. Not stay whole, but I'd reconsider this relationship with these red flags, and involving her mother to go 2 versus 1. At the least, some therapy seems in order. Not stay home. This is beyond crazy, and quite frankly, disturbing. If I were you, I would take a long, hard look at your wife and ask yourself if she is really over the ex. The fact she celebrated him not having a relationship and moving on, and how she reacted when a girlfriend came into the picture. Worst case scenario, she's not over her ex. Best case scenario, she's a control freak with no boundaries. Lots of red flags here. You should be very concerned. Now for the little update. I've decided to tell him. There is no way this is going to end well for Claire no matter how hard she tries to downplay the situation. Yes, I'm a coward, but that is her opinion. I told her that I was not going to get caught in the middle of this whirlpool, but she insisted I was the one trying to get involved, still ignoring how messed up her actions were. She can go ahead and turn every argument into a screaming match where I'm the one to blame, but I'm getting sick of it.